Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
Tracking the vaccines. As state leaders tell people to make an appointment, for many it is just not that simple. And vulnerable Michiganders are being left behind. Grant.
Gyms, group classes, fitness clubs all struggling to stay afloat during the pandemic. Coming up, what leaders of gyms across the state are saying about the health of their industry and what could be happening next with the rise of online fitness classes.
But we start things off here at 6 with Storm Tracker 4 showing a blast of winter closing in on us. That system could drop about an inch of snow per hour for part of this evening.
So let's start things off here at 6 with Ben and more on what we expect. Ben?
Yeah, Devin and Kim, it's going to do a lot of its work fast. In fact, when we talk to you at 11, I think a lot of that snow is going to be stacked up and done. But here's what's going on right now. Storm Tracker 4 showing that stuff coming in from the southwest. The places that are seeing that snow are in our south zone. Adrian, Ann Arbor, Howell now reporting some snow, and the visibilities have dropped below a mile in a good portion of the area. Half mile there in Howell, 3/4 in Ann Arbor and Adrian. And you can see the wind gusts 25 to 30 miles per hour. And we're going to see those gusts increase even higher overnight until we finally see them get to about 40 miles per hour tomorrow morning. Winter weather advisories are in effect. So the bottom line, from now until 4 a.m., we're expecting this snow, but a lot of it is going to happen in the next several hours. Could be some blowing and drifting, could even be some thunder snow with this. 2 to 3 inches total. Some isolated spots will pick up more, and we'll talk about even more snow, more cold, and more wind in just a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Ben, thank you. And the Local 4 News Today team will be tracking the weather and the roads overnight, so be sure to wake up with them tomorrow morning for weather and traffic on the 4 starting at 4:30 a.m.
All right, let's move now to the newest coronavirus numbers from the state as the governor eases one of the most talked about restrictions.
Today, Michigan reported 1,358 new cases with 74 more deaths. 63 of those deaths were from a review of records.
Today, Governor Whitmer announcing the pause on high school winter sports will be lifted on Monday. Now, student athletes must wear masks. If their sport doesn't allow for that, they must be tested. Governor says outside pressure did not influence the decision to let them play.
I understand that there are many different groups at various different times over the last 11 months who have made their case publicly. The fact of the matter is, if anyone's watched how I have conducted myself and the way that we have navigated COVID, it's that we have been absolutely committed to following the science.
Now, the sports issue is part of a much larger political battle brewing in Lansing.
The Republican legislature is trying more than $3 billion tying, I should say, more than $3 billion in COVID relief to the governor, changing her COVID response considerably. Local 4's Rod Maloney is live tonight with a look at where that relief package stands as of now. Rod, good evening.
Well, good evening. It went through the legislature this afternoon, which would make the governor happy, except for the fact there are a couple of things in there that she clearly will not be. One of them is that it gives power to the local school districts to decide whether any future pauses in athletics could happen. And it also sets aside a separate pot of money as an incentive for local school districts to have all in-school learning quickly.
I am eager to find some common ground with the legislature so that we can get this done, because people of our state are relying on us to use these resources that have been given to us.
The governor referencing millions for vaccine distribution, $500 million federal dollars for COVID testing, $2 billion for schools. She admits her office is talking with Republican legislative leadership, negotiating to free this money. And while last week she said she wasn't interested in the Republican approach, today she seemed more receptive.
I remain ready to work with anyone who wants to focus on these goals. These are not partisan goals, these are Michigan goals.
Clarkston State Representative Andrea Schroeder says the governor's sense of urgency belies reality on the ground.
Nothing is being withheld. Don't forget, the current federal dollars go through March. So nobody is left any money on the table or anything like that now. So, we need to use these dollars. These are our tax dollars.
And she worries the governor will do what she's done in the past, veto bipartisan legislation.
She has repeatedly said she won't do anything to cede her authoritarian powers. So, we're just going to have to see where her priorities lie, with people of Michigan or with power.
Now, I tried to get a question into the governor on this today, specifically about whether she would veto this bill if it got to her desk. I wasn't able to ask the question, and I sent an email to the governor's office, haven't heard back, but we're going to have to wait and see where all of this is headed. Reporting live in West Bloomfield, Rod Maloney, Local 4.
Okay, Rod, thank you.
We continue our effort to track the coronavirus vaccines. Today, Governor Whitmer proudly declaring Michigan has surpassed the 1 million mark for doses administered. That's a number that sounds less impressive given our state's estimated population of just over 10 million, of course. And the fact that 2 doses are needed per recipient, it's simply not been enough. And with lives at stake, the frustration is getting rather emotional for many Michiganders and some of our elected leaders. Try to get some answers. Sean Lay spoke with a congresswoman, a county executive, and a senior who did get the shot, but just not here. Sean?
Devin, good evening to you. You're right. A Michigan senior also brought to tears when she got that shot in her arm. 1,300 miles south of right here in Manatee County, Florida, and Florida said it was A-OK.
I hit the lottery, okay? I really did hit the lottery.
Ann Mapes, a Michigan senior, got a COVID vaccine shot in Florida. In early January, Florida welcomed snowbirds and was not asked for an ID. She was just asked to roll up her sleeve.
I was just overjoyed. I was overjoyed through the whole thing. I came really close to crying because I assumed that I wouldn't be getting it until like March or April.
Let's go to Congresswoman Debbie Dingell. This is her district. It's full of the most vulnerable for COVID, including thousands of seniors. She came to tears this week, hearing from seniors in Wayne and Washtenaw County that there are just no doses for them.
Are you concerned our seniors are being left behind?
I'm trying to do exactly what you're doing. Explain to me the allocation. Explain to me how that number is being determined. How would we, and I'm hearing from everybody. I'm hearing from those teachers too, but I'm hearing from the 75-year-old. I'm hearing from the 80-year-old man yesterday that has cancer that can't get through to anybody. I'm hearing from an African-American in Washtenaw County that doesn't have a regular doctor, that's not a patient at St. Joe's or Michigan, that can't call anybody or get anybody to help them. I heard from a couple that are patients at Henry Ford, but when they called Henry Ford, we were told, sorry, we can't give it. It's back at public health. I'm supposed to know what I'm doing. I'm pretty good at trying to make things that are broken, try to fix them. Yesterday, I was so frustrated. I sat down and cried because we've got to make the system work for everybody.
What's the issue? The only local county executive to step up to our Defender's microphone and interview with us, Macomb County Executive Mark Hackel.
The state made a bad decision here by having these seniors compete with a lot younger class of people.
Macomb County has 165,000 people over the age of 65 when Governor Whitmer opened the state to Phase 1B to include more people. The number of people in Macomb eligible for a vaccine shot up to 265,000. Where are the doses? This week, the state sent Macomb County 7,200.
7,200 doses. How quickly does that go?
7,200 doses here in Macomb County. We can do that in 2 days easily.
And then how many would be seniors getting those doses?
I'm going to bet probably less than 10%.
That's tough. That's really hard for the seniors.
It's awful.
All right, back here live. Let's get back to Debbie Dingell. She said she was so frustrated because there's no central communication here, a phone number for seniors to call. She wants Michigan to somehow establish a number and get away from the computer. She says she wants the governor and legislature to simply work together better and use better communication between the state and the counties and get phone line access up to vulnerable adults and to seniors. Mark Hackel says he is focused now on seniors. He's going to come up with creative ways with the county to serve those seniors. We'll stay on top of that. Beaumont Health says 2% of eligible patients each week. They're only able to vaccinate 2% because of limited supply. And just in from Livingston County, we don't have the supply. Try to add your name to multiple waiting lists. That's where we're at right now. Back to you.
It's so frustrating for so many people, and that's why we're going to continue with this coming up tonight at 11. How can you get a vaccine for yourself or your older loved ones? Help Me Hank has been collecting some of the best tips from those who have had success in getting an appointment. He'll have that later tonight on Local 4 News at 11. Our coverage also continues on clickondetroit.com. On the homepage, you'll find the vaccine. We've aggregated a list of every state health department and health system to try to make it easier for you to find what you need in one place.
Well, the pandemic has taken its toll on just about every industry, and one of the hardest hit has been in-person fitness. Today, leaders of one of the state's largest fitness club organizations held a town hall and gave a grim outlook. Our Grant Herms listened in today, and Grant, it's fair to say the health of gyms is not good.
No, it is not. For a lot of these gyms, it's been a struggle to reopen. They've had to navigate drops in membership and, of course, that back and forth legal fight with the state over the summer, all of it meaning that likely 1 in 5 gyms will close, just like this one here, by 2022.
We're in rough shape. We're clearly in survival mode.
Leaders of the Michigan Fitness Club Association on Thursday not giving a rosy picture of the health of their industry.
And we're dealing with things with information and data and reporting on the impact of COVID almost on a daily basis.
According to the MFCA, before the pandemic, there were roughly 1,000 fitness clubs statewide. Based on national projections, by 2022, when experts hope vaccines are widely available or already distributed, 200 gyms or fitness clubs will have been forced to close for good. And for those that have stayed open, membership dropping by almost 50%. For some gyms, fear of the coronavirus pushing people to pause or cancel their memberships, leading gyms to hang on tight to those left. And then there's the shift to at-home and online courses, which the group says doesn't mean they're going anywhere.
There's no reason to assume that that brick and mortar is going to be supplanted by online fitness. Our gyms have always been and will continue to be part of the health and wellness delivery system, and they play a vital role in that.
Now, there is some good news. The MFCA says that case-to-visit rates within gyms are far below 1%, and the state is only tracking just 2 outbreaks in personal wellness spaces. That's places like hair and nail salons and spas, along with gyms. The question now is, can all of these gyms or fitness clubs hang on until the end of the pandemic? In downtown Detroit, Grant Herms, Local 4.
Yeah, okay. Grant, thank you.
Still ahead here at 6, there's finally a plan to repair and reopen an important local bridge that has been shut down since last spring.
Plus, hear from some Henry Ford doctors who discovered a possible hidden danger for heart patients inside a new iPhone. Plus, the response we just got from Apple. That's next.